Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to cover how to make our AI do whatever the heck we want it to do. I'm talking about poses. Now, there's a very difference in having an AI look at a camera holding a product versus an action sequence, versus having AI wearing your clothes and parkouring over a building, versus having AI wearing your shoes and it's running and kicking and jumping. Those are very big differences in spectrum. It's very easy to have AI just look at a camera. Really freaking easy. If you watch my previous training on just prompting basics, you could do that. But getting AI to do really cool action scenes with your products, now we're getting into the realm of a lot more difficulty, and we have to prompt it to correspond. Now we're getting in the realm of a lot more difficulty to get AI to do what we want. So all of these images, for example, are prompted with AI. This is AI having it do and hold and move the way you want it to. Now we're going to cover how can we do this, because for example, there's a lot of brands that need this. A lot of our fashion brands, our sports brands, our CPG brands. Yes, we can do flat lays, and I'll teach you how to do that. That's easy to do. But some of them require action scenes, either for images or for videos. And you need to be able to understand this, because as you're going to learn later on in another video I'm going to show you is how to get the real videos from AI to make ads. And sometimes in order to do that, you need to make sure that you prompt it with the right keywords, and sometimes you have to get an image first and then you turn that into video. And so we're going to cover these basics. It always starts here. So all of these images are AI. Let's talk about what has to go inside of it to make this happen. Now, I'm going to teach you the foundation, and there's actually a really cool hack. I'm going to teach you this hack to make this happen. All right, so if you watched my previous video on prompting basics to create images and statics for AI, you already understand the template prompt structure. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch that, then come back here, because then this is going to make a lot more sense. So for example, in our prompts, we always include these foundations, but today, to get the action scenes we want, we're going to just add a couple more things. So first of all, we always include the subject. We always include the scene. Again, go back and watch that previous video. If you don't understand what that is, you need examples of that. We're going to include camera and position. That's really important. So for example, for this image right here, again, I can use this to sell our footwear brands. I can use this to sell our brands that have athleisure wear. Again, very easy now I have this action sequence. But camera position, this is purposefully prompted a specific camera position to get this thing. I'm prompting lighting cues. Again, I prompted this to get that sunset lens flare right there. Okay, mood and feel is important, which we've already covered that in the previous video. Rendering style imperfections, again, we've already covered that in the previous video. Now we're describing action. So you take the same fundamentals I've already taught you guys. Again, go back and watch the video if you haven't. But now we're adding specific action that is happening in this frozen frame and body posture. A lot of people go wrong. They describe it. And this is where I see a lot of people get some friction and they have to prompt it like 15, 20 times to get what they want. And it's because they miss these two distinctions. When you're describing it, you have to describe as if it's frozen in time, describe the picture in your head, but then also you may have to describe the posture of the body. So going back to the template prompt, what I would do is this is how we would add. So it's the same template structure that I've taught you guys previously, but I'm adding specifically body posture. So how they're acting, but physical freeze of the frame of the body posture. So for example, this image right here, we described what is his body doing in this frozen frame. A lot of people end up describing what he is doing, but this is not a video. This is a picture, so you have to describe as if it's frozen in time, how is the body positioned. So I like to call this is describing the mechanism of what's happening in the shot. So for example, that guy specifically, it was prompted the mechanism of that frozen frame. His foot's about to touch the ball. One leg is raised. The bottom one is bent. He's slightly leaning backwards, right? So we described the mechanism of what is happening in that shot. But this is also a really great time where we can start getting more specific in our characters. So typically when I'm describing poses, and you can do it on the templating structure I taught you previously, but this is where I start to add in specifics like the demographics, the hair, the clothing, the facial expression. So for example, that guy, as he's kicking the ball, that was prompted specifically, it was a focused facial expression. Again, the whole intent of me doing this for my team. So again, I have 50 team members. I got 4 creative strategists. I have 12 different designers and editors, right? The whole point of me doing this is we want to make ads with the intent that you cannot tell if they are real or fake, right? Specifically, you can't even tell that they're fake because they look so real. That is the intent, because we run ads for brands, many 8-figure brands, and they have creative guidelines that we're not trying to run guerrilla ads with holding a product. That's not going to pass. For brands, it's not going to make money. We're in the business to make money. So I only want to make stuff that's going to make money. And 10xing the creative output that my team and our brands can do, helping lower their costs, we'll be able to make any ad that's in our mind. This is what it's used for. And then we can describe interaction, okay? So here's an example. This was the prompt that I use. For example, this is actually really great for a fashion brand. We could put a guy's hat, t-shirt, a sweatshirt. We can put whatever we want on this guy. But this was how I had to describe it. I described it very specifically of what his arm was doing. Right arm is outstretched, dropping the bag in the waistband. Left arm is at his side. Head is slightly tilted down to the right, looking at the waistband. He's looking down, walking down a graffiti-covered alley on an overcast day. I'm being very descriptive. Now, you may think, man, like that seems like a lot of work. Well, I mean, initially, but now that I have this, I can make this 100 different times, 100 different ways, 100 different variations. Very similar. What I described he is holding a smoke grenade in both hands, right hand clutching, red smoke coming from the grenade, left hand clutching, smoke coming from the grenade. Captured where? Camera from behind. I'm specifically describing what he is doing. This one, the guy is running, he is jumping, he's about to stop. So it's not describing what he is doing, I'm describing as if the snapshot, the mechanism of him frozen in frame to get that action sequence. This one, dynamic parkour athlete, frozen midair, describing the frozen frame. What do I see in that frozen frame? She's frozen midair, jumping between obstacles. Extreme action shot, okay? High realism, wearing casual sportswear, sharp focus, detailed clothing, motion blur. So I'm describing the specific sequence as if it's frozen in time. Now that you understand the basics, what must go in a prompt, now it's very easy for us to go and take any reference, any example. Now we can play with it, implement any single pose we want. But I promised you a hack. You should try prompting first using the structure that I had. But if you can't quite get it the way you want, you can actually go and find a 3D model online. You can find it for free. Take a screenshot of that and then tell the AI model, I want you to describing the subject in the scene, but have them do this pose. So we're gonna do both of them together on this video. I'll show you the first way, then I'll show you a very complicated pose that you have to go and get a 3D model because it's very difficult to describe. And both of these are really fast ways. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the AI database that we have for our mentorship group and for my team. I mentioned this in the previous video, but we have over 300 images and prompts in here to make it look very realistic that you can't even tell if it's real or fake. I'm gonna find one that just looks fun and we're gonna roll with that one. What's a good pose? Walking. I like that guy. You know what? I like this guy. We're gonna take this guy. So I'm gonna take the prompt right there. That's the image, pretty good. Now what I wanna do is I'm gonna change his stance into something different. So what I'm gonna do, then this is the platform that I use. You have to use this platform. So I go to Nana Banana. Now use the link in my description if you want a discount on it. It is an affiliate link, so I would appreciate it for myself. That helps me to be able to provide you guys educational videos. So the platform that I use is actually Higgsfield. It's an integrator of most platforms. You can go to Gemini specifically and just use Banana. You can go to GPT and just use theirs. Now, I don't like GPT. I think it sucks personally, but Higgsfield is fantastic. Now, use the link in the description. It is an affiliate link. It does help me, so I would appreciate if you use it. But I go to Higgsfield, so I'm going to put that prompt right there, and we are going to make up a new scene, okay? Using the principles we already described. So remember, to do this, we want to make sure we fully describe the two things we mentioned. Describe the action, frozen in frame, and the body posture. Now, this particular prompt, there's really only one part of this reference, and that is this right here, what he is doing and how he is composed. I just did a prompt. I prompted it that he's about to throw something into the river. He is looking at the river. His knees are bent for support as he's about to throw it. Now, for me, I actually wanted the arm to be outstretched even more, but you can clearly tell like the dude is about to throw something. So what I would do next is I would then go back and prompt it one more time and be more specific to how much his arm is stretched about to throw something. All right, here we go. So I described just even more his arm. I actually took away a phrase about the stone wall only because I didn't want him leaning against it. I could have changed it and just said that he is standing next to the stone wall, but I think it was important to the image, so I just got rid of it. And there you go. That's exactly what I wanted. With his arm outstretched even more, about to throw something into the river. And guys, that took me literally 2 prompts and probably 15 seconds to do that. So not a lot of time. Just by understanding the basics. Dude, now I can prompt anything I want. Now let me show you the hack. I'm gonna take this exact same prompt. I'm gonna change it slightly, but what I've done is I have just found a free website. It's a free website that has poses. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna change up the pose. Now, I'm going to just pick a random pose. I think this would be pretty fun. What if he's kicking a ball into the river? That sounds pretty fun. So we're gonna do that. Actually, I changed my mind. We're gonna have him jumping into the river. That sounds great. Sure enough, that looks fun. So we're gonna do this. All I'm gonna do is I'm going to just take an image of this. It's like a karate kid jumping. It's not really quite jumping, but it'll be fun. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to upload it back into Higgsfield. What I'm gonna do here is now I'm gonna change the prompt to have it reference that image in that pose and just recreate that pose. Now, this is one of the hacks I use to where if I can't get what I want from prompting, 1, 2, 3 times, I'll go and find a pose that I want and have it reference that. All right, guys, welcome back. So I just edited the prompt to reference an image of him. Use the exact same prompt of the man. Everything about it was the same. Looks like a total karate kid. Actually, it looks like the guy from Mortal Kombat. What was his name? Luke Cage. That's right, Luke Cage. Pretty awesome. So you see now 2 really great examples of one, just prompt what you want, frozen and afraid, describing it. And if you find something that's quite difficult, go and find a reference pose online and then reference the model to describing your same person, but using that pose. And like always, if you guys want access to this database, join our mentorship group. We have over 300 and growing prompts and poses in there. We also have ad templates. We have training on how to scale ads, how to make ads, how to do creative strategy, how to do Google ads, how to do retention, how to do forecasting, all the things you need to scale your brand. But this database is a lifesaver for us to create AI stuff that looks so real you can't tell that it's made with AI. That's it. Keep paying attention to this channel. I'm going to be releasing more of this series of how to make ads with AI that you can't even tell that they're AI. I'll see you in the next video.